Now you have sound. Must have pressed this. I pressed it right at the beginning. Now you can hear me. Now I've been talking to nobody, but maybe some of you can lip read. Happy, beautiful day. Pete Cohen here. Thank you for joining me. We are here to talk about biohacking your health and your energy. First question, where are you in the world? Let us know where you are in the world. If you're watching this live, press number 1. If you're watching this later, press number 2. We're talking about biohacking. What is biohacking? Well, you can go and Google it. It's a fairly new term. 20, 30 years ago, I think if you'd mentioned biohacking, people probably would have said, what are you talking about? I have no idea what that means, but it means something today. And there's a lot of people that call themselves biohackers who are looking to improve their health. And some of them are doing some pretty crazy things that I don't promote. But there are some people who are biohacking in a way that I think we should all be listening. There's some amazing research going on about what we can do with our bodies to rejuvenate, to improve, for us to be able to be on this earth for a long time. So would it be okay if I could be brutally honest with you? If I could be brutally honest with you, just say yes, because I want people's buy-in, because I want to ask you a couple of really important questions. The first question is, what's the most valuable thing that you own? What's the most valuable thing that you own? It's great to see all those people here. Look, from Michigan to Barcelona to Aberdeenshire. The most valuable thing that we own has to be our health, right? But most of us don't know how valuable our health is until our health is under attack. So I don't know when the last time you were unwell is. The last time you maybe had a cold or a flu or something like that. But chances are the last time you had that, you were very aware of yourself. You were aware that you were alive. It probably wasn't a great time for you, but you were aware that in fact you were here. Most people have forgotten what it is like to have an abundance of energy, right? Would you like an abundance of energy? And this is the big question. And this, if you're ready for it, I'm going to ask you, how do you want to check out of this game? Because what I'm asking you to do, in effect, as we go through what you see behind you on the board, I want you to think about life is a game. You're playing the game. How are you playing? How are you performing? We talk in the work that I do about gaps, the performance gap. The areas that most people want to perform better is their health and their energy, especially if they didn't have to do anything. If they could just wave the magic wand and have better health, most people would just say, yeah, of course I want that. Most people would want better relationships with the people that matter most to them. The same could be true of your work and your wealth. Would you like more money? Would you like to do a job that you really love doing, or do more of what you already enjoy doing? Most people would say yes. But when we look at our life and I ask you, how are you going to exit this game? Most of us will exit this game as a statistic. And the statistics are pretty scary. It's estimated that between 80 and 90% of heart disease, lifestyle related, 80% of 90% of diabetes, lifestyle, 80 to 90% of heart disease, lifestyle related, 50% of cancers, lifestyle related. So much of the way that we're living our life is taking us in a particular direction. And what you see on the board here is this M in a U. That, to me, represents living a life of mediocrity. And the word mediocrity actually means being caught in the middle of a rugged mountain. That's what it means, mediocrity. And I don't think you set out on your journey to live a mediocre life. It's just that's the life that most of us are living because we're doing what everyone else is doing. So biohacking is a term that now is used about aging well, right? It's about aging backwards. It's about applying strategies to make your body, and particularly what's called your mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of every single cell, which almost powers all your cells, making that as powerful as possible. So is this something that you're interested in? Would you like better health? Would you like more energy? Now, I'd like to think that you can't buy this, but you could definitely buy certain aspects of it in terms of, what you choose to eat. But you can definitely buy into this concept. But there is a price to pay for this. And I don't necessarily just mean in money. I'm talking about the price in your effort and your energy, because you don't have to do anything, right? You can listen to this right now and do nothing and just carry on doing what you've been doing in the past, right? That's the easiest thing to do. Psychologies magazine is not the answer. You're the answer. What Psychologies magazine is doing is looking to give you practical things that you can do, ideas, motivational tips, techniques, things that work, but ultimately you have to do the work. So what I want to share with you right now is I want you to understand that this represents every cell of your body. In the middle of every cell is what's called the mitochondria. That's the powerhouse. We want to power up our mitochondria. We want renewal. Everyone say this with me. We want renewal. We want renewal. Everyone say this with me. We want renewal. We want renewal. When do we want renewal? Right now. So when we're talking about biohacking our health, we need to know what health is. What does health mean? Now, you might not know this, but the word health actually means renewal, right? Every single day, we can renew our health. But it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do, because none of this is complicated. It's about applying what we call the Magnificent Seven, which is, again, it's not complicated. It's about eating right, drinking right, thinking right, moving right, talking right, pooing right, sleeping right, getting a balance of the Magnificent Seven. And if you do this, you will start to become a deviant, deviating away from a statistic. 97.3% of Americans are all unhealthy by 4 basic measures. Most of us are moving in a direction now where we will die before our parents. Some of the statistics on this is pretty scary. Some of us might live a longer life, but that doesn't mean we'll live a life well. I want to ask you, how do you want to exit this game of life? How many of you would just like to exit one day, close your eyes, go to sleep and not wake up? Because statistically, that's unlikely. Statistically, we will probably get some sort of chronic disease. 50% of Americans have a chronic disease. And I'm not telling you this to frighten you. I'm just telling you, you have a choice. You have a choice. What separates us from everything else in nature is choice. Okay, trees don't grow halfway and stop. You know, animals rely on instinct. We can rely on instinct, but we need to really think about what are the choices that we're making. And I dare all of you, for the rest of your life, to see every choice that you make as a choice that's going to move you in a particular direction. It's either going to move you forwards into growth or back into safety. You're either going to grow or you're going to die. And if we could readdress that balance and grow more, we'll die less, we'll live longer. And of all the key points, the first thing, I want you to understand what health is. Health means renewal. When do you need to renew your health? Every single day. How? In how you think, how you move, how you talk, how you eat. It's not about perfection. It's just about doing the best that you can. But here really is the main point I want to make. Now, you can see behind me here 2 mountains, the first mountain and the second mountain. The first mountain that everyone is obsessed about in life, in the Western world, is living well. So I want to ask you, and this probably won't apply to all of you, but what does living well mean to you? What does it mean to you? Now, because you're interested in Psychologies and obviously Psychologies magazine, it might mean something different. But for the majority of people around the world, actually not in places where people can't even get food, it then becomes if you can't get food and shelter, if you get food and shelter, living well tends to be about the accumulation of things. Oh, look at him. He's living well. Oh, look at them. Look at where they're going on holiday this year. I wonder how much money they've got in the bank. Look how big their house is. Look where their children go to school. Living well is often about the accumulation of stuff. It's what you want other people to think of you. That is what living well is. In fact, for years, if you were fat, people thought you were living well because you must be able to eat well. Isn't that fascinating? Do you not think that that's really interesting? Because where is that taking us? Why is it that so many people are dying before their time? Why is that so many people having a midlife crisis? In many cases, living well is where people get to a point and then they think, is this all there is? And it's not just because they might be unhealthy, but because they feel that there's something missing. So for me, biohacking your health is also about you doing what you were meant to do on this earth. And I personally believe what we're all meant to do on this earth is to grow and contribute personally. And that's why I'm here right now. I'm here to contribute to you, to add value to your life and say, do you want to climb the first mountain or do you want to climb the second mountain? The second mountain is of living long. Do you want to live long? Like in Star Trek, do you want to, I can't do what Dr. Spock used to do, but live long and prosper? Because there is a price. And if that's what you want to do, you've got to move in a different direction. Ultimately, it's your choice. And, this is, if we look at living well, what's living well is causing people a lot, for a lot of people, is disease. It's a great word, disease, because if you look at dis-ease, when do we get disease? When we're not at ease with ourselves, where we're not living in alignment with maybe some sort of higher purpose, or living in alignment with making a difference to other people's lives. I think and I know, tell me if you agree, yes or no, that we are here to contribute to other people's lives, to make a difference to other people's lives. And when we're not doing that, we know deep down we're not sharing what we have. And that's what I feel we have to do. We have to share. We have to be here and make a difference to other people's lives. This is a real simple message. So let me finish this off here. And if you've got any questions, ask me any questions. You'll also see in this post, if you click on the link in this post, it will open up Messenger and you can have access to a podcast that I did with one of the top nutritionists in the world. You'll also get this. This is all free. I'm not selling you anything. This is about the Magnificent Seven. If you want to biohack, you need to learn how to do these things, to eat right, drink right, think right, talk right, sleep right, poo right. You can get access to this. You can learn from one of the top nutritionists in the world, and you can get access to some of the books I've written. You just click on the link. It's all free. Because my goal right now, on the back of COVID and the way that the world is changing, the whole economy is going to change. I want to add value, huge value to people like you so we can change the world, because the world is changing and we need to change with it. We need to be what Gandhi said. We need to be the change that we want to see in the world. We need to biohack our health. Let's look at some really simple things. Every day we need to renew. Every day we need to move. Why? Well, that's what our body's designed to do. What your brain does, it rewards your body for movement. People don't know this. Kelly McGonigal, who's written the book, The Joy of Movement, fantastic book. She talks about how you might not feel like doing it, but when you do it, your brain rewards your body for what you've done. Isn't that powerful? So you might not feel like exercising. That doesn't matter, right? It's what you're designed to do. They now say that sitting is the new smoking. It's dangerous. It's not good for us. That's why I'm standing up. If I stand up, I tend to be more powerful. These are really simple things that you can do. What else can you do? You can look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you value yourself. You value what you have, because at this moment in time, this is still working for you. It might not be working the way that you want it to, but it needs renewal. So does anyone have any questions? I really appreciate all of you showing up here today. I want to thank Psychologies magazine as ever for giving me the opportunity to be here and talk to all of you. We know that a great life, it doesn't just happen. Well, it kind of happens, but if you want it to be a fantastic life, you have to go to work on making that happen. So what's your number one takeaway? My challenge for you is to think about this. Live for tomorrow today. Think about what you're doing tomorrow as a way of making sure that you're here tomorrow. Okay? It's a simple idea, but most of us are just living for today as if we don't have a tomorrow. And most of you will regret that at one point. But you don't have to. You can do something about it today. So I really want to thank all of you for being here. Feel free to connect. One of the best places to connect with me is definitely on Instagram. It's just my name, Pete Cohen _. But if you want to have access to a treasure trove of free information, if you've got issues with fear or worry or doubt, or you want to be happier, more confident, just click on that link that I've put in this post. It will open up a whole load of stuff for you, absolutely free. But I want to thank you for being here. Anyone have any questions? What's your biggest takeaway? Please. One of the things I like to see with these broadcasts is more interactivity. So don't be a stranger. If you're watching this right now, What was your biggest takeaway from what I've just said? What are you going to do on the back of this? I will go back and look at everybody's comments. You guys are amazing. Look, and once again, tell us where you are in the world as we finish this off. It's been going for 20 minutes now. I apologize about the sound for the first few seconds. But you know what? These things happen. They're happening quite a bit at the moment. But maybe that will stop. I pray. Any questions? Has this been enjoyable to you? Show me some hearts if this has been useful, or thumbs up. I'm disabled from scoliosis. I'm eating healthy, but COVID has exhausted me. I bet it has, you know. I'm sure that there are things that you can do, and what a great example you set. You know, I really appreciate the fact that you're in the position that you are, and you still, because it would be so easy to just stay back and say, I can't do anything. My takeaway: to learn biohacking. I've done a few podcasts on this. Just check out my 365, but go and check out that link in this post. Open up our treasure trove. It's free. Philadelphia is in the house. Happy, beautiful day. Elaine, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. We can actually bring your comments up on the screen here. Where else we have here? What does that say? We'll check you out on Instagram. I'm from London. Jacqueline, great to have you here. Thank you so much. My biggest takeaway, I'm going to start biohacking. Anyone else? We've got Ali in Pakistan. England are playing Pakistan in the cricket at the moment, but I think it's probably stopped because of the rain. Guys, thank you for being here. We really appreciate your time. Time is such a valuable thing, and we should be making the most of it. So any tips for let me see what that said. Chronic anxiety, PTSD, was in quarantine. I'm in Florida. Let me just come back up here a bit. Read that. Any tips for managing chronic anxiety while in quarantine? I'm in Florida, US. COVID has had it indoors for weeks. Well, first off, Jessica, thank you for sharing that. Reach out to me on Facebook. Go through Messenger. Just click on that link and send me a message. But you'll see some stuff there that can definitely help. I think the first thing is acknowledging the fact that you want something. You know, there's something that you desire. And that's what I would encourage you to think about. However challenging things are for you right now, yes, reach out to me. Let me see if I can help you with that. So Angie says, my takeaway, more research, very interesting, bring a lot of things together. So Angie, if you like research, there's a great book called The Healthy Deviant. I would really recommend that. And The Joy of Movement by Kelly McGonigal. How to move exercise if in quarantine in Chile. Wow, yeah, I mean, I just do whatever you can, Lee. I think that one of the challenges, right, is that life isn't always how we think it should be. It is how it is. It's what's going on. And it's like, well, what can you do about it? What can you do? Now, what can't you do? What is in your control? Greetings from Sri Lanka. Logged in too late. Hope I can listen to the recorded video. Wow, Sri Lanka. What an amazing place. I know Aravinda De Silva. There you go. Who's he? Well, if you're from Sri Lanka, you know who he is. The greatest coconuts in the world come from Sri Lanka. Yes, you can listen from the beginning. I think the sound went for the first few moments. And also check out the link in this post. You get access to a whole lot of stuff. Thank you so much to Psychologies magazine. I love everything the magazine. I would never have believed years ago that I would have this privilege to do this, because I never thought that much of myself. But I've worked on myself, and now I realize, just like all of us, we can make a difference. Thank you from Stafford. Izumi, I think that's how I pronounce it. I'll see you guys next week. I think it will be, same time next week. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful day. All the best. See you soon.